Getting back to the weather on this Monday night, our temperature is cooling down this week. And right now we have a live look over West Charlotte from our tower camera. Temperatures here are going to be in the 60s as a high for the rest of the week. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Tara Lane. And Tara, it's going to be much cooler this week, but seriously, much cooler up in the mountains even.
Much colder up in the mountains, especially Wednesday. Wednesday and Thursday look to be the two coldest days where it's going to get kind of windy up there in the high elevations again. Temperatures falling below freezing.
Especially when you wake up in the morning, that's when it's going to be.
Yes, and of course a concern. We're talking about widespread frost up there, especially in those higher elevations into the next couple of days. Tonight, temperatures falling back into the 30s. We're not below freezing just yet. And yes, indeed, it is possible that we could see some of those high elevation mountain snowflakes too. So yes, feeling more like the latter part of fall as opposed to October here. We're going to go from just a couple of degrees above average like we had for that top temperature today and a low of only 63 to well below those numbers in the coming days. Right now we've got 55 in the Queen City, widespread 50s, a little bit chillier out there so far, and Wadesboro sitting in the upper 40s, and those even colder low and mid 40s up in the mountains so far as high pressure is now building in behind this latest front heading offshore right now. Notice at the same time we have some clouds wrapping around, spinning low pressure up to our north, and so we're going to see some of those clouds dropping in, some upper level energy, and that's what could kick off by the end of the day tomorrow. A couple of showers, especially in the mountains to start, and then changing over to some of those high elevation snowflakes toward the end of the day. I'll show you that on future radar coming up. So definitely a chillier start again for the kids out of the bus stops and the parents maybe standing with them, and if you're heading back to work early on, so bundling up again a little more with temperatures dropping into the mid 40s for most neighborhoods outside of the mountains, and just a lighter northwest wind at about 9 miles per hour. Here's a look at the higher elevations. So again, we stay above freezing tonight and early tomorrow. For now, upper 30s waking up in Jefferson, Boone, down through Avery County, but then there's low and mid 40s everywhere else from the foothills and off to the east out toward the Sandhills. Rockingham waking up to about 44 tomorrow morning. So breaking out the fall close for a few days after we get through this cold and frosty stretch, especially up there in the mountains and everywhere. Obviously, we're feeling the chillier temperatures. It doesn't last terribly long. Already as we kick off the weekend, temps start to warm up once again. But for now, we've got low pressure up to the north, and notice that counterclockwise flow around it and some wrapping in some colder air at the same time, dropping down through the mid-south and for us here in the Carolinas. Meantime, all the warmth and the heat stays over the western half of the country. And check out the high temperature tomorrow, only at 67 degrees. So definitely a cooler day, increasing clouds, so not as bright as today. And then here's that chance of a little bit of rain toward the end of the day. First of all, we start dry in the morning, no need for the umbrella, but then you can see the blanket of clouds over a good part of the area later into the morning and through the afternoon. And there's the chance of a couple of showers by 6 p.m. or so for you all in the mountains and up across the northern tier of the state. We could see some of that rain dropping down through parts of the Piedmont as well. And look at this, how we see for the first time this season that change over to a little pink and blue. So a little bit of a change over to some snowflakes. Could add up to about 1 to 2 inches once you get above 5,000 feet. Once you head 5,000 feet and below, we're just talking about a little bit of snow, maybe some flurries flying around once you get to 3,000 feet in elevation. And Wednesday, everything clears out once again. It's going to get a little breezy again, too. You can see the wind gusts picking up, especially by Wednesday, up around 20 to 25 miles per hour. Mountain forecasts, look at these temperatures. So cold and breezy there for Wednesday, staying in the low 40s. That's it for a high temperature. Coldest morning looks to be Thursday morning with that widespread frost and lows dropping into the mid and upper 20s. You can see the 7-day forecast outside of the mountains. 35 looks to be our coldest for Thursday morning. Records are in the low to mid 30s. Record lows for later in the week. Highs remaining in the 60s until the weekend. We start that warm up again.